You have a tomato face. What happened?
Jackson kissed me.
Oh, that's nice. Say what?
Jackson kissed me.
Huh. I knew the guy had a puppy crush on you.
Yeah,
So, are you two dating now?
I believe so.
Well, fine. But if he hurts you, then he's staying with me.
I'll be fine.
Still, Sid, I don't want him to turn out like those 3 strangers he used to date in the past.
I don't want it brought up, please.
Alright. Juliet. Oh my god, get out of my room. Turning sassy now. Have you been hanging out with Chloe?
You're stupid.
I know.
You spoke a word and life began. Told oceans where to start and where to end. You set in motion time and space. Still you come and you call me by name. Still you come and you call me by name. If you can open the stars and praise, you can hold my heart the same. Whenever I fall away, whenever I start to break. So here I am, lifting up my heart to the one who holds the stars.
Hey. Now, you can leave.
Stop trying to fight with me.
Never stopping unless you ain't my father.
Yeah, because he's dead. Anyway, I need to tell you something.
What?
I kissed Sid.
I'm sorry. Come again?
I kissed Sid.
What the fuck?
Calm it, James Bond. Fuck. I kissed her, big deal. Did I argue with you about kissing hunk-a-hunk at the school? No, I didn't.
I thought you made it clear you like my sister, jackass.
Well, she's dead, in the dirt right now, and so is Jason. Sorry I brought him up.
Like, shut up. He died right there in front of me. I have damn nightmares about it, you ass. You can't leave the past. Because it won't leave you and it'll haunt you.
Chloe, you can't ignore it. I know. I stayed in my room because I feel like I had no one. Think about it. Crystal died in my arms and Jason died in front of you. Do you think that I know how that feels?
Don't bring anything up about Jason again.
And don't bring up Crystal. What are you doing?
Being like you. Being bored 24/7.
Yeah.
You're in a mood. What's wrong?
Some stuff I don't want to talk about.
Okay. But whatever is wrong, it'll be okay.
Someday my prince will come for me, save me from this harm.
I'm going over there so I can beat his ass. No, you're not. You leave him alone. It's between me and him. You're staying out of it. Chloe, that's not how I play. He freaking beat you up. You think me staying away from him is gonna make everything better when he beat you up? No, that's not how I play.
Hey.
Hi.
Me and Jackson got into it last night.
Oh,
Yeah, but I don't care. It wasn't the first time.
I know something happened in the past and you don't want to bring it up.
Very much.
But I guess it couldn't hurt in full detail. I'll tell my story in full detail.
I said before, but this ain't crying. Because I did it before. My parents named Mary and Richard. My dad, Richard, was abusive to me. My mom, Mary, would lecture me a lot when I get in trouble at school or fighting with other kids at school. I get into fights with Hannah Violet, one of my enemies, and then I get home from school, get a damn ass beating and lecture about 2 to 4 hours and having no parents to fucking care about you. I started starving myself because I was called a slut, whore, bitch, and a fucking guy user. That's when I dated Jackson. I thought he could change me, but he did. But then apparently he cheated on me with one of my enemies named Bello Jones. He wanted to move on, and I went into a huge depression. Also, my dad beat me a lot. I told Richard would call me a mistake or a piece of shit because I am nothing but a worthless rat. A few years later, Mary and Richard, they died in the suicide in a car crash. I started to live on the streets, and that's where I met Stephen Johns. The next day, we went out training, and he took me to his room, and I made out with him. I found out that he was 22 years old, and I was 15 dating him. Call me crazy, but I didn't know. Anyway, on September 20th, 2011, I wanted to leave his gang. Because I hated being there. In the gang, because he used me for everything. He did some bad things to me while we were dating. I told him I wanted to leave, but he said no, and I got mad. So, what I did was, I hit him in the face, and then I should have ran, but I didn't because he pinned me down and beat me and raised me. And I went into a huge depression state after that. I cried all night and I slit my wrist even more and more. Then a year later, on my birthday, I hooked up with someone else named Morgan McLean. A black gangster who was my starring role. He laughed in my face and he wanted me to actually feel pain. I saw him drink a lot and I couldn't stand being in a relationship with someone who's drinking, and sooner or later for that person to not be in the right state of mind. So I broke up with Morgan And then he beat the crap out of me and actually threw me to a mirror that night. Then later that night, I went into a depression state, and the next day I was thinking about going out with Stephanie again, but actually giving me the chance. Like he said yes, and well, we got back together. And then a month passed, and we broke up again. I still had not left, but then when I didn't do his assignments, I was being abused by him again. Then on January 22nd, 2013, I killed him by shooting him, and apparently he's not dead. After I left, I met Jason at a club. We hooked up. Then Stefan and Morgan came back and started shit. I got told the truth by Stefan and got beat for not 1, but 2 hours! I begged him to stop, but no, he didn't. I couldn't stand him, so I left. I thought my life was over, but then I wanted it to stop. But Jason kept it up. A few months later, Jason got shot and died in a hospital. I wanted to kill myself, but I couldn't make it. And he's like, better. But I didn't. And that's when I met you a year later. That's my story. When people tell you they understand, they don't. They have not been through abuse to where you actually want to kill themselves. To make you feel better, you see a blade on your wrist and cut for 4 hours, and then you get into a mental asylum and stupid doctors to make you take medicine to help you gain weight. But no, that's not happening. Then you write a stupid suicide letter about knives and cats. Life is not perfect. Life is suck. Because people don't know what other people been through. Look at people's backstory, but get called for the cops and be put in the jail for something you did not do. That's why I can't trust people or anyone. I'm guessing you know it. I'm a loner. From middle school into now. When I met you, I don't feel alone.
Yeah. I don't like people for getting into people's business, and also people spreading rumors about me. I haven't experienced much as what you went through, but I won't use the word understand. I'll say similar to some things I went through, and even though everyone says this, but sorry, that happened.
And I'll say the same thing. It's not your fault. I didn't know what I was getting myself into.
Guess it's my turn. I don't remember a single thing about my birth, or anything. But as far as my mind can go, I remember waking up in my mom's house. Things were new. I was with myself, Parker, my sister Kylie, and Sid. I have another sister named Opal who's Kylie's twin, but I never saw her again. Anyway, it was one night I heard my parents arguing. I was 5 years old. I saw my dad George. He hit my mom Wendy. I cried and hit my dad, but then he picked me up and threw me into a glass mirror. He commanded Wendy to heal me. She took me to the bathroom to clean my cuts. I asked her why Dad was acting like how he was. Wendy, being the dumbass she is, talking to a 5-year-old and told me he was only in a mood and everything was gonna be okay. That's a bullshit lie. But the next day, first day of school, I met my friends Drake and Dana, and well, we all became friends over a game of roll the ball. At recess, I got in a fight with a kid named Darren, who was a year older than me and was in kindergarten. I sucked ass at that fight, but the stupid teacher called my parents, and of course my dad gave me an ass whooping. I grew older, of course, and in the 5th grade, I was 10. I met a girl named Tessa who was my very first girlfriend, but we broke up because she had to move away. As years passed, I was 13. It was Sid's 10th birthday. George gave Sid a present. It was rape. I saved her. George slammed me into a glass table and I ended up with this. But then George left. After only a week, Wendy got married to my stepdad Henry, being the desperate woman she was. I found out Henry was only after my mom's ass and he beated me for it. And the days wouldn't change. It was beatings and I grew more cold. I dated a few girls, but they broke my heart, and those are my first 3 killings. And then I met the girl who turned me into a teenage dirtbag, Noelle Moon. I'll tell you this, she was the one who pissed me off for the last time, and I never regretted killing her. But I got caught, and a stranger bailed me out. I was walking in the streets and got jumped. I woke up meeting Carter Seth. I joined his gang, and well, when I entered, I ran into my old friends, and the guy I wanted to have his throat being ripped out, Jackson Hyler. At first, we hated each other. And at one point, I met another guy named Josh Anderson. We were friends, but sometimes I can't stand him. But for some reason, he admired me a lot, and I saved him from a group of guys who tried to jump him. So I guess you could say I was his dark guardian angel. But anyway, Jackson and I eventually hooked up, and I got better at socializing. But we broke up after a small fight, but made up the next day. I went to a new campus. Later on, I dated Dana, but I got drunk and I almost abused her. For her safety and keeping our friendship, I broke up with her. And then I dated my best friend, Drake. Weirdest relationship I was in, but we broke up because we were more as brothers and friends. Then, being the biggest idiot on the planet, I dated a girl named Paisley, and she's psychotic. Thank God I dumped her ass. And then I met a girl named Candy. Sweet as she was, hence her name. And even though she was kind of shy, she was also still my so-called bad girl. But things went wrong in my life with Carter on my ass, and I couldn't take it anymore. Me and my friends got into a gang fight and finally killed Carter. But I still had some unfinished business at home. I tried to fight my stepdad, but he knocked me out. Next thing I know, I wake up is to seeing Wendy dead. And I was in hell of a depression. And as months passed, I got custody of my siblings and we all moved here. The next day, I meet you. That's my story.
I heard of Carter, but I never met him. I think there was a good thing while we joined it fucked up. But we met each other at the end. That's all that matters.
Yeah.